Hey guys, I'm Timothy from Cinema Content, and I wanted to make this video to talk about the future of this channel. If you've been subscribed for a while, you may have noticed that I haven't been uploading as often as I did before. And a lot of things have changed in my life. Some things are good, but also a lot of negative stuff has happened in my life, so I wanted to make this video to talk about that. If you didn't know, I am 18 years old and I graduated a couple of months ago, so I started working on a factory, and my plan was to take that time and earn money so I can buy better equipment for YouTube videos and for my PC and my setup and everything like that. But many of you actually thought that YouTube was my full-time job, but you have no idea. You want to know how much money I've earned from doing YouTube? Stay with me now. $70 total. Yeah. And with all the time I've spent making YouTube videos, I did a quick calculation and my estimated earnings are $0.1 per hour. $0.1. Now this does depend a lot on me making videos with copyrighted protected music. Basically 90% of my videos get demonetized because of the music, and I'm aware of that. And I was aware of that when I started making YouTube videos, because for me it was never about the money. It was about showing people what I can do, and with the hopes that they can give me support. And that you did, so I'm really grateful for everyone watching this video. I think the majority of you is subscribing to my channel already, and I'm really grateful for that. And I mean, that's amazing, because all I really do is just sitting in my own room editing videos of people fighting against CGI monsters and stuff. So it's just really amazing to have you all guys giving me motivation to keep making these videos, because I really enjoy doing them, and I can see that many of you enjoy watching them. So I mean, that's the perfect match. And for someone who doesn't earn from making YouTube videos, it's very hard to balance your life and actually finding time for everything that you want to do. I usually did a lot of editing on the bus on my way to school, and as you may know, I had a laptop before, so I can basically edit wherever I wanted. But I did a lot of editing home too, of course. I think I could say I edited about 15 hours a week, and now put that together with going to school, doing homework, working out, being with friends and family. So you could say I had a pretty tight schedule, but I really enjoyed making videos, and I really enjoyed my life overall. So I didn't have any problem with editing that much, and I had time for what I really wanted to do, so I couldn't complain about it. But it was not until my graduation that I actually felt like I was doing too much, and that I wasn't as motivated as I was before. So when my graduation came closer, I felt like editing took a lot of energy from me. And the hardest thing about making YouTube videos was, of course, the tutorials. Because it was such a difference from just making normal fan edits. Because when I did normal fan edits, I could edit whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and wherever I wanted. But when I did these tutorials, I just had to sit in the same chair with the same bright studio lights pointing at me. So just sitting in the same place with the exact same setup was really hard for me, because I was not used to that at all. And I had so long sessions of editing, like I had probably about 5 hours of editing and then doing something else. So it was really hard to do that in the same position while commentating and focusing on everything I had to focus on. Because when you start doing tutorials like this, or any studio recordings at all, you gotta think about a lot of things. And my whole recording setup was just a complete mess. So it was just so much to think about, so much to check if everything was working and wasn't working and whatever. So I just thought that I could give you a quick insight of what my setup looked like when I made the tutorials. So first off, I had my camera on a tripod as usual. no big surprise. Then I had my shotgun mic that I used for recording. So this is often used for short films, but when I used this, I used it together with a recording device, so I recorded it separately from the camera. So you always have to check if the battery had run out, if the storage had run out, or if anything else unexpected has happened, like my devices often do. It was just a lot to check while editing and while commenting, and I just wanted to focus on editing and explaining it to you, but I had such a hard time just focusing on, okay, is everything working and all that. So yeah, these tutorials consumed so much of my time and energy. Plus, this was the first time I actually talked to a big audience, so I was quite nervous the first time I was doing it. So I didn't really have time to smile or anything, and I'm still working on that right now, to actually be an interesting person to listen to, because that's just as important as what I'm saying, to say it in a very interesting way, and I try that as much as I can, so hopefully I will improve in the future. But the good news is, I have a better setup now, if you haven't noticed. As usual, I asked you guys in the community tab what you wanted to see in this video, and a lot of you wanted to see my setup, so I just thought that I could show you. And if you're new to this channel and haven't heard about the community tab, it's a thing that most YouTubers have on their channel, so you can go over and see their posts, and I often make posts about future videos, what you want to see, what you expect from the videos. So if you're new, please go there and check out what I post. So the laptop I was editing on actually belonged to my school, so when I graduated they had to take it back, and therefore I needed to buy a new PC, or else I couldn't be editing on this channel anymore. Luckily I had saved a lot of money, so I could buy my own PC by the time I was graduating. So what I did was I bought all the parts so me and my brother could assemble it, and I've never done that before, so big shout out to my brother Julian to actually help me build this PC and to make it work. So thanks to you, brother. So I got this PC, and of course it was working faster and more efficient than the laptop that I was using. And it's not the best PC, it doesn't have the best parts, but I just thought that I buy a decent PC so I could edit on something at least. I mean, whatever I bought, it would always be better than the laptop I was editing on. So yeah, I bought a decent PC and thought that I could just, if I needed more or better parts, I could just switch them out or replace them in the future. And for those who are interested, I will put all the information about my PC in the description below, so you can look up all the parts I have and say, oh, I have better parts than cinema content, or oh, I have not as good parts as cinema content, or whatever you want to look up the parts for. But yeah, they will be in the description below. But the biggest difference about my new setup is actually what I bought for my camera. And for those who are interested in my camera, I have a Panasonic GH5 with a 25mm lens. But the biggest difference to my setup was that I bought a dummy battery. So the dummy battery actually works as an electric conductor, so you just plug it into the wall and into the camera, and then you won't run out of any power. So that's very good for long sessions like I do when I record and talk for several hours. And yeah, it's just really good because then you don't have to check the battery time, and you can just be more confident in what you're doing and don't have to worry about the battery life. Then I bought a cam link, and the cam link basically allows me to connect my camera to my PC and make it work as a webcam. So then I didn't have to think about storage either. So I could just have the camera recording and everything would go into the computer, and I can see myself on the screen, and it would just be so much easier to make videos like I do now. And I think this is like the most normal setup that most YouTubers have then when they're playing video games or talking about stuff like I do, that they have it connected to a bigger setup. And yeah, so I bought a dummy battery and I bought a cam link to make my camera work much more on its own, and it's much easier to control and see everything on the PC instead of having it separately just on the camera and have to worry about battery life and the storage. Plus, now I use a microphone that is plugged into the computer instead of having it separately on the floor. And that makes it easier because then I can have the video and the audio in the same software. And if you're wondering what I'm using right now, I'm using OBS Studios. It's a free software and I haven't used it very much yet, but what I've seen, I really like the layout. So when I have everything connected to one single software, I think it will be much easier to actually focus on what I want to say to you instead of just thinking of everything that I record besides me. And I think it will be so I hope this can make the tutorials less draining for me, so I can make more tutorials and more videos where I talk about stuff. Beside all this new setup thing, I also want to change the whole look of cinema content. So a friend of mine actually designed a new logo for this channel. My current logo, I made it myself in Adobe Illustrator, but I wasn't very good at using Illustrator or at making logos at all. So hopefully this will be a much better logo and a much better identity for cinema content. So I don't just want to change the profile picture and the banner, I want to change the whole look of everything. I want to change how videos look, how videos feel, how people feel when they enter my channel and watch some of my videos. And that's the main goal for me right now, to make cinema content feel as consistent as possible. So I've been working a lot on that, and hopefully we will be done soon with the new look of cinema content. As I'm changing the whole design, I also want to produce a lot of different videos, and to be honest, I am getting pretty tired of just doing Marvel fan edits. I've been doing it a lot. I just feel like it's the same content over and over again. So I would really like to make some more multi-fandoms and videos about other franchises, and even completely different videos. It doesn't have to be fan edits or tutorials. I want to make reviews, I want to make commentary videos, I want to make reaction videos, I want to make all kind of videos where I talk about editing and I talk about movies and I talk about my opinion and about others' opinions, and make this as interesting as possible. And with everything going on in my life, I can't promise either to produce all the kinds of videos that I just listed. I will try my best, but with everything going on, I can't say how much time I will have for everything and how much motivation I will have for everything. Well, I hope you've gotten an insight on what I plan to do with this channel. I'm no longer working in that factory. I found an editing job that I can work on part-time. So now I can have much more time for focusing on myself and what I love to do. I will do my very best to make all these things happen, so please let me know in the comments below what you think about everything that I've said. I love to hear your honest opinions and I love your support. Thank you so much for that. And that's all I had to say. So thank you all for watching and stay awesome.